Hello from Bali. This is the podcast Pigeon of Peace, where we do discuss awesome skills of troubleshooting. Watch, listen, and check the description below for the details. Let's talk about negativity and let's start with the definition.
You could find different things on iOS. Some would make you happy, and some would make you cry. And negativity is the second one. When you have something unpleasant, you will become negative. If you want to refuse to the offer, you also would be negative. So there is a two-way. You could accept something like something what is good, or maybe news, or maybe you will deny it. And negativity is the last one.
And when we're actually speaking about this one, probably it's also might be some sort of like a subjective and objective parts, or it's also might be, our perception or maybe our society perception. So how to understand which one is which and how to decide how you're going to treat it. And when we're speaking about how to treat it, we probably will expand this question in the future as well.
There is a very famous Chinese fairy tale. I couldn't say it in a whole, but it was something like it was a family and father and the son, and suddenly son was fallen from the horse and break his leg, and everyone was saying, so it was so unfortunate. But after several years, it was a war, but this boy with previously broken leg was not summoned to be force and to fight against enemy. And it was several cases like this, something negative which would become like positive. The same in our life. Okay, our life is a journey from the birth, or how to say, колыбель,
Lullaby.
because I was thinking that maybe lullaby, this is a song which we use for small childs.
Or maybe the bed for kids. Probably we'll think about better word.
So we're going just from belly of our mother to the tomb, so to the grave. So it's just direct way. But anyway, we have a lot of good things. There is a meme with two pictures. There is a puppy and also a small boy. They're sitting close to the river and having their legs in the water. And at this point, boy was sad, and he was telling to the puppy, we live just once. And another picture, it was a reply from puppy, no, you are mistaken, we live each day, we die just once.
Well, this is actually quite well said. So it's all about perception. And again, how now we can probably expand to the question, like, how do we deal with the negativity? Because, it could be at the different levels, it could be from a different people, so that our, I would say, sensors might be have a different receptions. So how to deal with all of that, how to set some sort of like a protection, or maybe sometimes we could use it as a good portion of poison in order to learn and maybe resist.
I have two friends of mine, not close one, but I see them like each quarter, and I call them, they do not know each other, but they have very same habit. They are happy about everything, and I call them Mr. Adrenaline. So, for example, we will sit in a restaurant and suddenly we will get, I don't know how to say, подгоревший steak, burnt steak, burnt steak. And at this point, I would become negative. Okay, I will say, can you please replace this piece of meat? Okay, if you couldn't take it crossed out from the bill, okay, I would pay. But if you please, could you remake it? But all these two guys in this situation would happily say, okay, it's new experience. I would eat burnt steak. And I'm looking at them, and if you know them for a while, you will think that maybe they're craziest people on the earth, but they are always happy. Okay, I break a cup of tea, for example, I lose my job and something like this, and they're so happy. And this is just a point of view. So everything what is going could be our perception. For example, maybe this is a new door. By the way, there is a Russian joke. I know is it easy to translate, but one boy was telling to another, I have a feeling, and I remember the phrase my father told me: if one door will close, another will open. And then it was an addition. He was a good father, but bad carpenter.
Well, this is funny enough. And you also mentioned that, sometimes we might be surrounded by different people with the different relationships. So if we want to make sure that their, like health, like a mental or like a physical one, stay intact, how do we think or how do we act in order to be some sort of like a shield? And again, I probably will repeat this one more time. Should we sometimes allow to shed a bit of like a light of negativity, if we can call it like this, to their lives, or we should actually really be, like protecting them from everything that is possible?
When I was trying to do my second marathon, it was not easy. First was much easier. There is two things in my life, this marathon and also how to eat with Japanese chopstick. It's okay to say chopstick?
Chopsticks.
Chopsticks. And when you make first time to eat this Japanese food and also to run marathon, it would be much easier than make it in second. I heard the phrase, no pain, no gain. And suddenly I was realizing my grandma was saying something like this. If the test of medicine is, забыл слово, горький,
bitter,
is bitter, it works well. So it's funny. All medicine right now would have a good test, but I remember always voice of my grandma. It should be, if it is well working, it should be bitter. The same with negativity. To prevent your life from unsuccess, to gain something, you should work very hard and you should have sweat on your forehead.
And when we actually move forward, let's say probably with some recognition or maybe some sort of like a publicity, people might be getting a disproportional amount of negativity as well. And it could be sometimes like from more or less constructive. It could be like absolutely nonsense. So how to deal with this? Again, like with something which is not constructive, deal in more or less, positive way.
There is a case, and I am not proud of it, but it was time I was sitting in the room with completely transparent walls made from glass in the mid of the store, and it was a man who approached my office and knocked the door, opened it, came, but I have so many negative that I don't know why, but I put to let him down. So I made a special, I don't know how to say, прием.
Mechanics or actions,
and I was like, I don't know how to say, как прием в борьбе, like
a fighting trick.
Like a fighting trick, and in a moment I was sitting on him and I was trying to hit him by my arm, and suddenly I saw through the glass walls that a lot of people were looking at me. And when I was at the committee of ethics, I was asked, why you are so angry? You are senior manager, you should show respect to everyone. And I told that this man was telling me some words, and they were recorded, and everyone was so angry about my negativity. But fortunately, when I asked, are we able to listen those words, and suddenly everyone was stepping on my side. The same trick was with, I believe, with Zidane. This is a football player. At one point he was talking with someone, with another player on the field, and suddenly he hit him by forehead in chest, and then he was fined like 2,000 euros, something like this. It was some bad words about his mother or something like this. So sometimes you will behave like animal because you have some triggers in your heart, in your mind, and if someone would press hard, maybe you will put out your civilized clothes and you will become an ancient warrior.
And when we actually maybe take a different step, sometimes you also might be a representative of the company, and like there might be stuff that's going on within, there might be stuff that's going on outside, whether it's like a constructive or not, like how you should the line of the behavioral that you need to stick to, because sometimes like being over positive might be quite looking quite funny. And I do remember this meme when there is like a dog sitting in the firing place and saying that everything is good, but like the fire is eating pretty much everything. So how to find this fine line in order to be, again, like constructive yet like achieve your goals and make sure that you can deal with all of this negativity that's coming to you in your company?
If you are negative, maybe you are in desperate position. It was several times in my life when I was boss of my company, and suddenly I realized that everything is going to be worse and worse. And I was like this dog around this fires. I was thinking how it could happen. Maybe several days ago, sun was shining, the weather was good, and I was on the top of everything. And suddenly I was in a fighting pit and I have so many enemies. Yes, but sometimes it's happened. And I always saying that if you are getting older, at some point you will understand that you will lose your friend, but you will acquire new enemies. And if you have enemies, it is a good one. There is a saying, if I'm not mistaken, from Balzac. He was saying, if you have many enemies, maybe you're a good person.
Then my last question will be how knowing about negativity could help to make this world a better place.
Maxim, maybe you will support me, maybe you will fight with me, but I found very strange thing. When some girl will have problem in life, she will say something like this. Okay, today I broke my heel, каблук heel.
Heel.
Today I broke my heel. Today I порвал чулки.
Ripped my socks or something like
socks.
that.
I rip my socks. Maybe I spill some ketchup on my shirt. And now you are telling me that, for example, we will not go to the cinema. At this point, I always think, why? Women always take everything in one hand. It's different things in different locations, and they are not combined in a chain. Sometimes people will sit at the bench and will say something. Okay, I was left by my girlfriend or boyfriend. I lose my job and now I have no money. So they create negativity from different звено.
Piece of chain or nodes.
They create negativity from different nodes. But if you would be attentive, you will understand that there is no connection. So nothing in the world against you. There is a very good story. Maybe you will help me to remember the name. I don't know exactly the name, but it was a planet, and this was a very aggressive place to live. And people were trained like 3 months before they will go out, and they have special guns, and they always fight. And suddenly was insight from one man, and he was thinking, maybe not this planet against us, maybe it's protecting itself. And he suddenly came unarmed, and he was with bare hand, he was naked, and suddenly this planet will not start fight. And then everyone understand that we fight this planet and planet fight back.
Yes, it was a world of this, but Hans Calandis and Harry Harrison, and we review the skill of negativity and how it could be helpful for you. Stay in peace.